Today, I'd like us to think deeply about something very small, something almost invisible, yet something that quietly shapes the destiny of every successful man or woman you have ever heard of. It isn't luck, it isn't genius, it isn't even raw ambition. It's something far simpler, something quieter, something frankly much more powerful. It is quiet persistence. You know, many years ago, a young man set out from his little town with nothing but a satchel and a dream. He had no connections, no wealth, not even exceptional talent. What he did have, however, was a willingness to keep putting one foot in front of the other, long after everyone else had gone home. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't celebrated. Most of the time, no one even noticed. But day after day, week after week, he quietly built something magnificent out of nothing at all. Years later, when people called him an overnight success, he smiled, because he knew the truth. There had been no sudden burst of brilliance. Only persistence. Nature itself teaches us this law. The mightiest oak begins as a tiny, fragile acorn. The acorn does not erupt overnight into a towering tree. It grows so slowly that to the casual observer, it appears not to be growing at all. Yet deep inside the earth, out of sight, forces are at work, steadily, irresistibly. And given enough time, it becomes something that shades men, withstands storms, and endures for centuries. Now, how does this apply to you and me? Every single goal, every worthy ambition you can name, is subject to this same principle. We must be willing to persist, often invisibly, often without recognition, often in the lonely silence of our private effort. Most people quit because they expect fireworks. They expect the results to appear immediately, like magic tricks. But life doesn't work that way. Results accumulate not with noise and spectacle, but with quiet persistence. Each tiny effort, each small improvement, adds to a growing invisible storehouse, until one day you break through. In 1956, I recorded a message called The Strangest Secret. And that secret was this: we become what we think about. But now let me add something to that idea. We achieve what we persistently work toward. Thought alone is not enough. It is thought married to quiet, persistent action that creates the miracles we so admire. I want you to imagine a mason building a stone wall. Each stone is heavy. Each placement is slow. From day to day, there seems to be almost no progress. Yet he continues, stone after stone. And then, months later, a great, strong wall stands where once there was nothing but dust. If he had stopped halfway, discouraged by the seeming lack of results, there would be no wall. Success, my friend, is built stone by stone. Now here's something practical you can do today, and every day, choose one goal. Break it down into small daily actions. Then commit, not to the result, but to the daily action itself. Trust the process. Persist quietly. Remember, the man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. When we observe the world, it often looks as though others have found some shortcut. We hear about viral successes, record-breaking achievements, brilliant innovations. But look closer, scratch beneath the surface, and you will find that every genuine success story is a story of persistence. Thomas Edison performed over 1,000 experiments before inventing the light bulb. Beethoven composed despite deafness. Abraham Lincoln lost election after election before winning the presidency. None of these men were particularly lucky, but they were patient. They were quietly persistent, and so you and I must be the same. When frustration comes, and it will, we persist. When no one notices our efforts, and they won't, we persist. When it feels like progress is too slow, and it will, we persist, because we know the law of cause and effect, the law of sowing and reaping, the law of quiet persistence. I leave you today with a vision. Picture yourself as a river. A river cuts through mountains not with force, but with persistence. Day after day, the water flows, gently, quietly, irresistibly. In time, even the hardest stone yields. So it is with your dreams. Quiet persistence is stronger than any obstacle, and in time, in its season, it will carve a path where none existed before. Until next time, remember, persist, quietly, steadily, faithfully. Your success, your fulfillment, is inevitable. if only you do not quit. This is Earl Nightingale, reminding you, you are, at this moment, standing in the middle of your own acres of diamonds. All you need to do is keep going.